I started. Oh, oh. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So today we will chant the entire Bhaj Govindam. Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Govindam Bhaj Mudamate, Samprapte Sannihite Kale, Nahi Nahi Rakshati Dukrim Karne, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Govindam Bhaj Mudhamate, Mudhajahi Hidhana Gamatrishnam Kuru Satbuddhim Manasi Vitrishnam Yallabhase Nijakarmo Patam Vittam Tena Vinodaya Chittam Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Govindam, Bhaj Mudhamate, Naristana Bharanabhi Desham Drishtva Maga Mohavesham Etanaman Savasadi Vikaram Manasi Vichintaya Varam Varam Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Govindam, Bhaj Mudhamate, Nalini Dalagata Jalamati Taralam Tattvajivitam Atishaya Chapalam Vitti Vyatyabhimana Grastam Lokam Shokahatam Cha Samastam Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Govindam Bhaj Mudhamate, Yavat Vitto Parjana Sakta Tavat Nija Parivaro Rakta Paschat Jivati Jara Jara Dehi Vartam Kopina Prachati Gehe Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Govindam Bhaj Mudhamate, Yavat Pavano Nivasati Dehe Tavat Prachati Kushalam Gehe Gatavati Vayav Deha Paye Bharya Bibhyati Tasmin Kaye, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Govindam Bhaj Mudhamate, बालस्तावत् क्रीडा सक्तः तरुणस्तावत् तरुणी सक्त वृद्धस्तावत् चिन्तासक्त परमे ब्रह्मणि कोऽपि न सक्त भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते काते कान्ता कस्ते पुत्रः संसारो यमतीव विचित्र कस्य त्वं ककुत आयात तत्त्वं चिन्तय तदिह भ्रात भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते सत्सङ्गत्वे निस्सङ्गत्वं निस्सङ्गत्वे निर्मोहत्वं निर्मोहत्वे निश्चलतत्वं निश्चलतत्वे जीवनमुक्ति भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं भज मूढमते वयसि गते कामविकार शुष्के नीरे काकसार क्षीणे वित्ते का परिवारो ज्ञाते तत्त्वे कः संसार भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते मा कुरु धन जन यौवन गर्व हरति निमेष काल सर्वं मायामयम् इदम् अखिलं बुद्ध्वा ब्रह्मपदं त्वं प्रविश विदित्वा भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते दिन्यामिन्यौ सायं प्रातः शिशिरवसन्तौ पुनरायात काल क्रीडति गच्छति आयु तदपि न मुञ्चति आशावायु भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते काते कान्ता धनगत चिन्ता वातुल किं तव नास्ति नियन्ता त्रिजगति सज्जन संगति रेखा भवति भवार्णवतरणे नौका भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते जटिलो मुण्डी लुञ्चित केशः काशा याम्बर बहुकृत वेश पश्यन्नपि च न पश्यति मूढो उदरनिमित्तं बहुकृत वेश भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते अङ्गं गलितं पलितं मुण्डं दर्शनविहीनं जातं तुण्डं वृद्धो याति गृहीत्वा दण्डं तदपि न मुञ्चति आशापिण्डं भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते अग्रे वह्नि पृष्ठे भानु रात्रौ चुबुक समर्पित जानु करुतल तरुतलवास तदपि न मुञ्चति आशापाश भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते कुरुते गंगा सागर गमनं परिपालनम् अथवा दानं ज्ञानविहीन सर्वमतेन भजति न मुक्ति जन्मशक्तेन भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते सुरमन्दिर तरुमूल निवासशय्या भूतलम् अजिनं वास सर्व परिग्रह भोग त्याग कस्य सुखं न करोति विराग भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते योगरतो वा भोगरतो वा संगरतो वा संगविहीन यस्य ब्रह्मणि रमते चित्तं नन्दति नन्दति नन्दत्येव भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते भगवद्गीता किंचिदधीता गंगा जललव कणिका पीता सकृदपि येन मुरारि समर्चा क्रियते तस्य यमेन न चर्चा भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते पुनरपि जननं पुनरपि मरणं पुनरपि जननी जठरे शयनम् इह संसारे बहुदुस्तारे कृपया पारे पाहि मुरारे भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते रथ्याचरपट विरचित कंठः पुण्य विवर्जित पंथः योगी योगनियोजित चित्तो रमते बालोन्मत्तवदेव भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते कस्त्वं कोऽहं कुत आयातः कामे जननी को मे तात इति परिभावय सर्वमसारं विश्वं त्यक्त्वा स्वप्नविचारं भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते त्वयि मयि चान्यत्रैको विष्णुः व्यर्थं कुप्यसि मय्यसहिष्णु भवसमचित्तः सर्वत्र त्वं वाञ्छास्य चिराद्यदि विष्णुत्वं भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते शत्रौ मित्रे पुत्रे बन्धौ मा कुरु विग्रहसन्धौ सर्वस्मिन् अपि पश्यात्मानं सर्वत्रोत्सृजभेदज्ञानं भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते कामं क्रोधं लोभं मोहं त्यक्त्वात्मानं पश्यति सोऽहम् आत्मज्ञानविहीना मूढा ते पच्यन्ते नरकनिगूढा भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते गेयं गीतानामसहस्रं ध्येयं श्रीपतिरूपमजस्रं नेयं सज्जनसङ्गे चित्तं देयं दीनजनाय च वित्तं भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते सुखतः क्रियते रामन्तशरीरे रोगः यद्यपि लोके मरणं शरणं तदपि न मुञ्चति पापाचरणं भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते अमनर्थं भावय नित्यं नास्ति ततः सुखलेश सत्यं पुत्रादपि धनभाजां भीति सर्वत्रैषा विहिता रीति भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते प्राणायामं प्रत्याहारं नित्यानित्य विवेकविचारं जाप्य समेत समाधिविधानं पूर्ववधानं महदवधानं भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते गुरुचरणाम्बुजनिर्भरभक्तः संसारात् चिरात् भवमुक्त सेन्द्रियमानसनियमादेव द्रक्ष्यसि निजहृदयस्थं देवं भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते. So we are in the concluding two verses of Bhaj Govindam. We had kind of gone through verse number 30 last week. So verse 30 is pranayamam pratyaharam nitya nitya viveka vicharam. So pranayam, which is the control not of breath only, but of all the functions of life, which we had said are 5: prana, apana, vyana, udana, and samana. These are the 5, not only, we will say they are physiological functions, but the 5 ways in which life expresses through us. Whether we take in, take in breath, whether we take in food, or whether we take in ideas, we take in various sense stimuli, it is the receipt of, this is the input that we receive. And apana is rejection of that which we do not need, whether it is excretion through the body, rejection of ideas, or we refuse to see or hear certain things, refuse certain sense stimuli. That is apana. That which is received, is then digested. That which is digested is assimilated and used for our growth. So these are the 5 physiological functions, and mastery and control of these 5 functions is known as pranayama. Having control over these functions will happen only when we have pratyahar. What is pratyahar? Is control of the senses. Our senses are indulgent. They want to enjoy more and more and look for more and more sense gratification. If we if we eat too much food, then we will have no control over all. We will have indigestion. We will suffer from the dysentery or diet. We will not digest the food, it will not be assimilated, and the food will not be there to help us grow healthy. It will actually work against us. So if we take in the wrong stimuli, that will also work with us in the same way. Wrong ideas, if we keep, and they will cause more poison in our emotional personality. So mastery over all these will only come when there is master pratyahar. Pratyahar is control of senses. But control of senses will come when there is nitya, anitya vastu, viveka and vichara. Viveka means the ability to discern, differentiate and discriminate. Simple as differentiating or discriminating between black and white. That is the function of intellect. But here the discrimination is nitya, anitya vastu. What is permanent, what is eternal, and what is ephemeral, until we don't have that discrimination, we will not have mastery over our senses. In Vedanta, and the next book that we take up, which is Tattva Bodh, will be so logically explaining all these ideas of Vedanta to us. In Vedanta, all this entire creation, or everything that we interact with, we can say that there are 3 aspects in this creation. One is Sat, that which is always there. Sat we call as truth, but that which is eternal, that which remains in all 3 periods of time and does not change. What was, is, and will be. So if we take the example, I'll give the example afterwards. The second is Asat, that which has no existence at all. It did not exist in the past, does not exist now, and will never exist. That is Asat. And in between these 2 is what is called Mithya. Now we all take Mithya as something that is illusory, which has imagined, but here it has an entirely different stand as Mithya also. That which exists but does not have permanent existence. For example, now I will give the example. We'll take the different ornaments, earrings, bangles, bracelets, rings. All these are made of gold. What existed first was gold. What exists now, it is only a name and form of gold. There is nothing which exists called earring. If there is something which exists as earring, then when we are giving the earring, when we are giving the ring, what we are giving is gold in essence. But it is only a name and form of gold that we call earring, that we call bracelet, that we call chain. Our transactions are all with gold. But does it mean that earring does not exist? So if earring has an existence, it has a transactional reality also. So it exists, but it does not have an independent existence of its own. What exists is goal. So it is as though it exists. You cannot say it exists and you cannot say it does not exist. So such a thing is nitya. So now the ability to discriminate between this, all of us know our traditional upbringing. We are all brought up with that. When we go to buy even stainless steel vessels, we will see how heavy it is. You know, how thick is the gauge? That was how we were raised in India. We don't go by just its external appearance. What is it that I'm getting? Vastu. So that ability to discern between transient, impermanent. So when we are able to do that, then we will not be caught up in the temporary sense pleasures. If we are not caught up in the temporary sense pleasures, because of our intellect, our choices will be right. That is viveka. And when we do that, then we will not become indulgent. And if we are not indulgent, then we will have control over the forces of life, pranayama, pratyahara. But to be able to do this vivek vichara, you see how beautifully this verse is presented to us. To be able to even do that, we have to have control over, or we have to have skillful thinking. Vivek, and then he says vichara. The word vichara is such a beautiful word because the root chara in Sanskrit means to move. And vichara means to move deliberately. That is called reflecting, conscious thinking. So when you think about something, only then conscious, skillful thinking will bring about vivek. Vivek does not come easily. So conscious, skillful thinking will lead to vivek. But when will we have mastery over our thought processes? To get mastery over thought processes, the technique is japa. We have all seen our grandmothers and our elders in our families do the mala. That is a technique that is given to us to keep our mind focused on a single thought. The mantra is the chosen thought, and that is the thought we have to keep our mind focused upon. But we have also seen many of our, not all, but many of our elders perform this correctly. As they are doing their japamala, did the servant come? Did the servant do this? Did you finish eating your meal? Now it is getting late for you to go to school. That is not japa. The mind has to be on that mantra only and nothing else. So when you can keep your mind on any single chosen thought to the exclusion of all other thoughts, that is japa. When we can train our mind to do japa, then we will be able to think, deliberately choose our thoughts and keep them in a certain direction and reflect. Through that vichara, we will get discrimination, viveka. Through that discrimination, we will get mastery over our senses. And through that mastery over our senses, we will get mastery over all the functions of life. When that comes, then that in a samadhi, that inner peace will come to us. Samadhi means samadhi. When the intellect is sama, is equanimous, it is not, as some often people refer to it, as a state of thoughtlessness. This has to be understood with clarity. Thoughtlessness is not a dull state of mind. This thoughtlessness is an absolute alert state of mind, like that of a tiger or an animal of prey, waiting for a moment to get to its prey, or that of a deer or some animal that is preyed upon. very alert to everything that is going on in its surroundings, to every little movement or change that is happening around him. So perceptive, just fully alert and vigilant. It is that state of mind only when we are fully conscious of what? Of our true self. That is samadhi. So through this, we can state of samadhi. This kurva vadhanam mahata avadhanam. Do this and do it with great care. And if we are able to do that, then he says, we would have reached that state. Now, the concluding verse, he is not only he's blessing us, and he's also telling that, oh devotee, Guru Charanambuja, who is at the lotus feet of the teacher, you within no time, achirat, immediately, you will be liberated from this world of change, samsara. And sa indriya manasa niyamat, by the discipline of your sense organs and your mind with this practice in this way, you will experience the divine, the Lord, where? Not out there, but the one who is seated in your heart. Nija hridayastham, the one who is in your next class. And with that, we will be concluding Bhaj Govindam. I see we have about 5 minutes left. We'll say our concluding prayers and meet for some time. But before that, I have a request also for all of you. Yesterday, it was Guru Purnima. And on Guru, this is a day we, of course, remember our gurus and offer them our gratitude and salutations. But more importantly is this flow of knowledge. Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Parampara. This tradition of Guru Shishya Parampara, that is what keeps the flow of this knowledge going. Vedanta is a very special knowledge that is being imparted to all of us. And we have all to do. We never used to take Guru Dakshina for mommy, but Swamiji told us since we don't need the money, we never took Guru Dakshina. But Swamiji told us, it was Chinmaya mission. But I will suggest that whatever you can do to whichever institution that is imparting this knowledge, please make whatever contribution you would like to make to keep this knowledge flowing. It is a special knowledge, and that will be our part in keeping the flow of this knowledge. We will say our concluding prayers, and then we will meet. Bantu sukhina sarve sashyantu ma kaschid dukha bhave.
મીનાબેન, એ પ્રમાણે તમે ગુરુમાંથી આવે.
ના
ગુરુમાં કો પ્રણામ.
મેં જ્યારે સ્વામીજીને પ્રણામ કીધા ને, તો સ્વામીજી મને શું આશીર્વાદ આપ્યા ખબર છે? કે બધા ગુરુ પરંપરાના જેટલા ગુરુઓ છે એના આશીર્વાદ તને મળે. એટલે બસ તને એ બધાને એ જ આશીર્વાદ છે કે બધા આપણા પરંપરાના ગુરુઓ
Thank you.
આપણને સૌને આશીર્વાદ.
हमारा गुरु
Thank you.
तरीके
Thank you.
प्रणाम.
અરે ભાઈ એ જ કીધું ને જલ્પાને, બસ એ ગુરુઓ તો બધા આપણા પરંપરામાં છે, એ લોકોના આશીર્વાદ છે.
So Meena, Guru Purnima was yesterday.
It was yesterday, yes.
Okay.
In some part of India, they celebrated today.
Okay.
Especially northern part of India, they celebrated today. Western part of India, they celebrated yesterday.
South and North all
Yeah.
have that 1 day difference for some reason.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, because while coming to Brato, we saw the moon and we were not sure whether it was full moon or not. Probably it was.
Yes, it was. So, yeah, it was. So, you know, it is Vyasa Purnima. It is also known as
Yes.
Vyasa Purnima.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. He
So we can
Less than a minute left.
give our contribution to anywhere or
see, if you ask me, I will say Chinmaya Mission, but whatever institution, you know, will keep this flow going, I will say it is worth doing it. Whatever institution does that work, we can.
Like when in their website, you can sort of go and donate it directly. It goes there
Yes, it does.
with a credit card.
Yes,
Okay.
it does. They have, and you know, they have missions throughout the world. So you might be able to find some in Europe. I don't know, but I know. I mean, I look at Chinmaya Mission West, which is North America, really, and that's where. But I don't go by card. I collect and leave. You are all in different places. Wherever, whichever institution, the idea really is to keep this flow and to keep this knowledge going.
true.
That is the main thing.
That's important.
That is important. Yes.
Yeah. You are back to St. John's.
And we are back to St. John's. Yes, we came on Monday.
How is Vipul and his wife?
Vipul is all right. Mitali still, because of her concussion, she gets headaches and she gets